Dan, me and you will go and make a brew now, mate. We'll just go and take 5 minutes to ourselves because I'm going to introduce the Scouser to talk about his Scouse mate, if that's all right, pal. Because obviously we're going to go to the 25th of July, first of all. It is the main event. It's a fight that every single fight fan, not just British fight fans, but every single fight fan around the world is absolutely gagging for. Robert Whittaker, Darren Till. It's going to be on the feet, Nick. It's going to be carnage. Talk me through it, brother.
Well, you hit the nail right on the head there. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal, and I don't think anybody on the planet could think of a better way to end this Fight Island event. 4 events in the space of 2 weeks, all culminating in Robert Whittaker versus Darren Till in the main event. And let's face it, is a shootout to take on Israel Adesanya, whoever holds the middleweight belt once the dust settles. It's a phenomenal fight, both incredible strikers, both former welterweights who are moving up, both got great takedown defence, both super strong wrestling. I think it's going to come down to power. I think it's going to come down to who can take one another's power down the stretch and who wants it more. And I haven't been around Robert Whittaker's camp for this one, but I have managed to get down to Team Calbon and seen Till in action. And I know this sounds like a cliche, but I've never seen him training this hard before. I've never seen him with this kind of focus before. A couple of weeks out from the fight, I remember then he was already just a few pounds off the weight class, which for Till is absolutely phenomenal. Anyone that knows him, he's a huge guy and does carry a lot of weight naturally. But he's got the eye of the tiger for this fight, and I really do think it's going to be absolute flames. He sees it absolutely as his coming out party. He believes that he's owned lockdown in terms of his social media and what he's been getting up to on social media. And he believes like he's one of the most popular fighters on the planet right now. And he wants to go out there, prove it, do a number on Robert Whittaker, lay claim for a shot at that middleweight title belt. And it's upwards and onwards for Darren Till. But in terms of this fight alone, as you say, the culmination of this Fight Island quadruple header, couldn't have picked a better fight. Robert Whittaker, as we know, will always turn up, will always play his part. He wants to put the loss to Adesanya behind him when he believes he wasn't at 100%. You better believe he'll turn up on Yas Island firing on all cylinders. But as I say, for me, of course, I think Darren Till, this is his moment. This is what he's been working towards.
Look at you, you're giddy, aren't you? Surprised you've not got your flip-flops on already, ready to rock and roll.
I have.
Dan, just on this middleweight division, because I'm hopeful that we'll see Israel Adesanya against Paulo Costa. I mean, I've seen Paulo now back in the gym, on social media, looking ferocious, looking big. I'm fascinated by that matchup. But if you look at narratives in the division, obviously with Robert Whittaker coming off a loss to Israel Adesanya, with the social media back and forth between Izzy and Darren Till, you would think that the winner of Whittaker-Till would be next in line after Paulo Costa to get a shot at the belt.
Yeah, it would make absolute sense. And I think, the thing is with Darren Till, and we knew this from when he first stepped into the UFC and he got that first big win, I feel like he's got the kind of personality that gravitates him toward big occasions, big events, And I think, we saw this when he fought Masvidal. He was in the main event position above fighters that have been on the roster for a while from this region. He's got that star power, and I think that it's a mouth-watering matchup. I'll be honest, Israel Adesanya against either of these guys is exciting. I know Robert Whittaker had a loss, but I felt like he was reckless in that loss, and I don't think it was really characteristic of him as a fighter. I thought he actually he fought more like Yoel Romero in that fight than anything. So I wouldn't be against a rematch for Whittaker if he gets a win here, but at the same time, if Till gets a win, absolutely, I'd want to see that fight against Adesanya. And I'll be honest, like as dangerous as Paulo Costa is, I just think he's a more reckless version of striking version than Yoel Romero. I don't think he poses the same kind of problems to any of these guys. I mean, of course, if he catches you, it's the if-bomb. It's like fighting Derek Lewis. If he catches you, he's going to knock you out. But if he doesn't catch you, you could probably make him look quite silly with your skills and technique. And I think all three of these guys have got the skills and ability to make Paulo Costa look like a powerlifter, which is really what he is in comparison to these martial artists.
July 25th on Fight Island is actually a big night for Darren Till's gym, his teammates at Calbon. There's quite a few on there, and I know that at the start of the year, Nick, we sat down and we were looking at our big prospects, who was going to be the guy that cut through this year in the UFC, and you picked out a British guy from that gym in the heavyweight division, and he gets to make his debut on Yas Island.
Yeah, Tom Aspinall, he looked, again, I've been down the gym, he looks absolutely phenomenal. I said it from day one, he doesn't move like a heavyweight. His hands certainly aren't like a heavyweight. This is a guy that's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt that runs his own school, that trains at Cowbon, so he's got the work ethic. But he also spars regularly with Tyson Fury, so he's got the stand-up ability as well. I genuinely believe that Tom Aspinall is going to be a sensation in this heavyweight division, and he gets a great first fight against Jake Collier, who, you wouldn't believe it by listening to his name, but he's a Cuban of descent, but he's not really a Cuban-style fighter. He's not a heavy wrestler. He does like to strike, even though he's quite unorthodox. So it's a great first test for Tom Aspinall, and as you say, a big night for Team Cowbon. Mike Grundy's in action on this card as well, and he's got a really tough fight against the guy that's good everywhere, that's a scrambler, that's a fighter, that's this one could actually pinch it, the fight of the night bonus. But again, it's a big night for them all, and hopefully if they can get the momentum going early on, then we could have a great night for all the Brits.